Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be doing another coaching session for Soraka. So thank you very much to Jacob for the very generous donation. I truly appreciate it. So first off, we're going to go over just a little bit of the pregame, what I recommend in terms of runes, build order, skill order. Then we'll go into the game itself. I'll take a lot of notes. Okay, yeah, I've got my notebook over there. I was about to say, got to have that. We'll take notes, and at the very end, we'll bring it all together, try to give Jacob the top, 5 to 10 tips to help him improve a little bit. If you would like a coaching session yourself, you can email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I'm more than happy to set that up. Lately, I've been able to get these done in like 2 or 3 days, so a pretty quick turnaround on that. If you want to watch more coaching videos, you maybe can't afford one, but you learn a lot from watching them. I've got an entire playlist link for you here. And if you want to see champion guides, I have them listed here. I'm constantly adding in more guides. I do have a Soraka Season 8 guide called the Ingenious Soraka video, so be sure to check that out. It's in the list. You can access this Google Doc in the description, and you can access timestamps in the description as well if you just want to jump around to the game start or just the post game for some reason. If you want to hear the recap, you only have about 5 minutes or so, you can do that. So lots of different ways you can view the channel. If you want to donate other than just coaching sessions, the coaching session is just $20. That's a replay off stream. If you want to do a replay on stream, get some commentary from the community themselves. Make sure that you're kind of at the top of the pile. I do it instantly when you request it on stream. Then that's just $25. In-depth champion guide or topical guide is $25. I've got a lot of those in queue, so those will take a little bit, but the other stuff I can do pretty quickly. If you just want an op.gg review, maybe you don't have 20 bucks, but you want me to look at your runes, your items, sort of the matchups that you're playing, champions that you're playing, just give you some really good 5 to 10 tips just based on that. That's not as thorough as a coaching session, obviously, because I can't see your play. But it can help out in terms of like items, matchups, runes, stuff like that. So that's just $5 on stream if you want to see that. I'll play any champion that you want on stream for just $10. If you want some commentary on one of your favorite champs, I don't play them a lot. I'll do it in any role. Normal game, on stream, limit of 2 per stream. I can do that. If you want to hear me sing some really bad karaoke, I'll sing any song you want, as long as the lyrics aren't too racy for our channel. I'll do that for just $10. So if you want to donate, if you really like the channel, I try to offer you a lot of fun rewards to give you something cool for supporting the channel. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. All right, so you should try to have 1 control ward per 5 minutes and 1 normal ward per minute on average. And if you're running zombie ward, you need to have 2 normal wards per average. So, in a 30-minute game, you need to strive to have 6 control wards. And in a 30-minute game, you need to have 30 normal wards or 60 normal wards if you're running zombie. Okay, as far as runes go, and this is for 8.6, which just came out today. I recommend Airy, Mana Flow Band, Celerity, Scorch, and then Bone Plating and either Second Wind or Chrysalis. Now, Second Wind is historically what you would get here. This is very good for slow sustain lanes, but if you think they're going to all-in you and they might kill you, like they have an Ignite Leona bot lane or something, Chrysalis can be a really, really good option. Having that flat HP sometimes can be a much bigger deal than having the regen over time. So, if it's a pretty soft lane, if you're just going to be trading some poke with something like a Sona or a Nami, Second Wind's going to be better. But if they're going to all-in and try to kill you, then Chrysalis is going to be better. There's probably going to be a lot of all-in kill lanes because Ignite just got buffed and Heal just got nerfed. And Jin's been coming back into flavor lately, so Chrysalis might be a pretty good option. And Chrysalis scales much better into the later in the game, so that's a pretty good option. Guardian is another thing that I used to run that still is like... It's okay. The problem is, like, you're going to do, like, no damage early on. So, I mean, if you're against a really tough lane, if you're against, like, a Leona, Jhin, or something like that, a Soraka, you might just want to go Guardian, Bone Plating, Chrysalis, Revitalize, and then as your secondary, go into something like Ingenious Hunter and Zombie Ward, and just play for the mid to the late game, right? So that's going to help you out a lot with your Redemptions, your Mikhails. If you choose to get something like Shirelia's Reverie to help you with your mobility, then I think if you're going to have 2 or 3 item actives, then going that build can be pretty good. But you're going to have no harass early on in game. Like, you're going to do virtually no damage. If you take Airy plus Scorch early with auto attacks, you're going to be a pretty formidable force. You can poke out a lot of people. So if you're very aggressive, if you're landing a lot of Qs, you're landing a lot of autos, and you feel like you can do that safely, then the Airy build's really good. But if you're not, if you just like to chill in lane, or if you're particularly worried that they're going to kill you, like I said, Leona, Jhin, something like that, then getting Guardian is really good. That's going to give you an extra shield, and Revitalize. It's going to give you an extra shield, extra healing later in the game. So, you know, the Guardian build, it just depends. If you can harass early, Airy build, good. If you're scared, you think you're going to die, they just have a lot of in-your-face power, then going for the Guardian build and just playing for the mid-game with Ingenious Hunter is probably better. Okay. Build order. Once again, this is going to depend on the lane matchup. You know, going Eye of the Oasis, Nomad's Medallion is going to be the best if you're looking for maximum gold, if you're playing for the mid-game. If you really want to make sure you complete your second item before the enemy support, you're not really worried about getting killed in lane. Oasis is pretty good. Now, Frostfang is a lot better if you're going to be doing that harass. So if you're going for the Airy build, Frostfang is going to be better. If you're going for the Guardian build, then Oasis is going to be better. Redemption is almost always what you want to rush. It's really good in team fight, excellent scaling with Soraka, and gives you some really good semi-global presence. It has 5,500 range, which is great, especially when comboed with your ult. You can really turn some fights in mid lane from the bot lane. Then after that, it's kind of up to you. Mikhail's is also really good if you have Redemption with Soraka, because she heals so much that plus 20% healing is really good. Then this is also going to remove some crowd control, so it's going to keep you from getting picked off. It's going to keep your allies from getting picked off. So Mikhail's really good. If your AD carry is getting pretty far ahead and they're an auto attack based AD carry, Ardent Censor's really good. Now, I will tell you, I talk about this in my patch notes video. It's probably going to take people a week or two to realize this. We'll see how long it takes and how many YouTubers figure this out. But Gensu's is very, very strong with lethal tempo and any AD carry that has an attack speed steroid. Like Jinx, Tristana, Kog'Maw, Twitch. All these champions can potentially be really good with Gensu's, and if they do that, they're going to go Gensu's Hurricane probably, or some of them might go Gensu's Wit's End. Either way, Ardent Censor is extremely good with that because that's going to give them extra attack speed even more, which scales off of Gensu's. They get an extra 50% bonus attack speed off of the Ardent Censor, and your on-hit damage is going to be great because they're already attacking so fast anyways, and if they have Hurricane, it's really good with Hurricane because each one of those bolts is also going to apply the Ardent Censor on-hit damage. So if you're playing with somebody who's going to be getting Hurricane or who's going to be getting the new Gensu's, then Ardent Censor is extremely strong. So that's something to consider. If you have someone like Jhin on your team who's not going to be getting any real attack speed, they're going to be getting, you know, Essence Reaver, or like Xayah, who's going to go like Essence Reaver plus, you know, Rapid Fire Cannon plus Infinity Edge or something like that. Ardent Censor's not going to matter as much because they're not going to have as much attack speed to really leverage the on-hit that you're giving. So just keep that in mind. Also, if your AD carry is like 0-5, it may not matter if you go Ardent Censor, right? So you might need to get something like a Locket to help the rest of your team win the team fight, to let that Zac and, you know, that Zac and Ryze win the team fight for you. Okay, so you just kind of have to play it by ear. So I think Redemption is almost always a must as a first buy. Other options, like I said, Mikhail, Ardent Censor. You could go Shirelia's if you have like an Olaf on your team, or a Nasus, or somebody else who's fed that needs to run in and engage. That could be a pretty good option. You're not going to have that option in this game. This game was recorded on 8.5, but just for the future, since you'll be watching this on 8.6, that's a pretty good thing to think about. Locket, like I said before, pretty good combination with Redemption. That's team fight superiority. You know, it's really hard to lose a team fight if you have Redemption and Locket and they don't. So yeah, you have a lot of options. So that kind of sucks, you know, in a sense, because I can't tell you exactly what to do because it depends on the situation. But it's also really cool that it gives you a lot more of an advantage if you're someone who likes to strategize and learn, and I assume you are because you're watching this channel getting a coaching video. This will give you a huge edge if you learn how to identify these different moments. It'll give you a big edge over other supports who just do the same cookie cutter basic build off of Mobile Fire, right? Okay. As far as skill order, you should max your W. Your E should be the last thing you max. E is just a good 1.1er just to temporarily silence people, just to kind of disrupt them, stop them from flashing, stop them from doing what they want to do temporarily, but it's not worth really putting more points in most of the time. So it's still going to have a really long cooldown. It does some damage, which is nice, but really you want that to be your 1-point wonder. Q, you could get up to 3 points in Q, and once again, this is going to depend on how the lane is going. If you think you can land a lot of Qs, if you're running Airy, if you're running Frost, you can get up to 3 points, and that will help you harass a lot and sustain in lane, which is great. If you think you're going to get bullied out a lot, and you're just not going to be able to land a lot of Qs, then maybe you just start maxing W immediately. But either way, you need to have your W maxed in the mid-game by level 9 or 10, depending on how many points in Q you get. So don't ever get more than 3 points in Q right off the bat. You can get as few as 1 point in Q and just start maxing W immediately, and then you need to have your W maxed in the mid game about when you complete your redemption. And because that's your bread and butter, right? That's your healing. That's why you're picking Soraka most of the time. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get in here. Okay, so I went ahead and just... I'm going to call it up right now, and then that way I can see the runes that you have and kind of comment on it, at least the style of runes that you have. Okay, so you are taking Guardian plus Domination. Good. So I assume you're going Genius Hunter. Okay, Kaisa. Okay. I like that build here. I think you could definitely get away with going Airy Scorch if you want to. Because they shouldn't have that much aggro on you. Like, Galio shouldn't be able to get to you, really. Twitch is extremely weak early on in lane. So I think this might be a place where you would want to go Frostfang, Airy, if you feel comfortable attacking as much as you do. Now, Kayn can be a problem in the, mid to late game. So that is pretty legit. It's a good reason to have Guardian. Guardian also protects your allies, which is important. So, you can give that extra shield to your Kaisa or your Corki. Y'all need to get out of here. Make sure you're paying attention. Okay, that was a good Q.
Minions have spawned.
What'd you get coined? Okay, so you're just kind of playing for the long con. It's dangerous to play long con against Twitch. Like, I feel like you really need to bust him up early. This is probably a place where I would have gone Frostfang Airy for sure to mess with that Twitch. I'm not even that sure that y'all have the late game. Twitch is just a complete nightmare late game, and so is Zoe. You do have Warwick, though. It's pretty good. Okay, even if you're going coin, though, I definitely want you to be up here, like, harassing them. So, yeah, you're not going to do as much as if you had the full Frostfang Airy build. But don't worry about hitting Galio. You need to hit Twitch. Did he take... He didn't even take Doran's shield. So you should be able to stick your harass. You need to be up here. Fight Twitch. Twitch. Don't worry about Galio. Hit Twitch. Hit Twitch. Why were... Oh, you were late to lane. So you're down in experience. That's a pretty big deal if you didn't have your heal ready. Let me grab the notebook here. Yeah, so I want you to be a lot more aggressive in lane. I want you to, like, just constantly try to chuck auto attacks at this Twitch. And just hit him with Qs. Like, watch the minions. Every time the minion gets low, you know he wants to hit it, right? So you know exactly where he's going to be. You could auto Q him right there. So that's what you want to be looking for is, whenever he goes for these last hits on minions, that's a free Q hit. Because he has to choose. You want to make him choose. Do I want to get this last hit, or do I want to eat a Soraka Q? So you want to think, I want to make the... That's a pretty funny name, no Han Solo. You have to think, he's paying a price. Every CS, don't worry about Galio. You're never going to hurt that guy. Just hit the Twitch. Keep hitting Twitch. Keep hitting... Tell her to back up. She's you might have to... No, you're alright. Don't even... You're never going to kill Galio. Just constantly hit Twitch. But yeah, you want to be thinking, like, no CS is free. That's what you need to think in your mind. Every time he wants to go up to last hit something, you need to auto-attack him, or Q him, or both. And that adds up. You know, there's 6 minions per wave. Even if you just land one auto, you're going to deal, like, after armor, like, 40 damage. That's 240 damage. That's like half his health after one wave if you just auto-attack him. Maybe not half his health, like a third of his health. If you just throw one auto in there. Every time he goes for a CS, just one auto. That's like not even hitting Qs. That adds up a lot. Even if you don't hit him on every single auto, right? Maybe you just hit him on 4 of the 6 minions that come down. That's still 160 per wave. You know, there's 2 waves per minute. That's 320 damage per minute. So after 2 minutes, he would have taken 640 damage. Now, yeah, he's going to be regenning some off of that, right? He's got fleet footwork. He's got just his passive health regen. So it's not going to be quite that severe. But you can see that adds up. I mean, even if he regens like half of that, that's still 300, 400 damage. He's going to be sitting at half health just from auto attacks. And the thing is, too, he can't hit you back. Like, whenever he auto-attacks a minion, he has to pick, is he going to hit Soraka, or is he going to hit the minion? Right? So if he auto-attacks a minion, then he can't auto-attack you. So you just walk up, auto-attack him, throw a Q at him. You'll probably hit him with the Q. Yeah, the minions are going to hit you a little bit, but you're going to heal off your own Q. But right now, they have you guys so scared because of this Galio. Like, right there, just go up and auto him. All he has is a Vamp Scepter. He doesn't even have a BF Sword. You have Warwick here, like you don't have to worry about a gank. Let me turn off the... So I want you to be much, much more aggressive with Soraka. Way more aggressive. You guys need to back up. Now you need to back up, because... Just run. Q. Use your Q, use your heal. What are you leveling up? Okay, you are leveling heal. Okay. You pink Gallia's flash, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah, silencer good. Minor Q. Okay, she flashed. Just try to survive. You guys might need to back off this tower. Just keep healing them. Keep throwing Qs over here. You're a little low on mana, though. I would ping people off this tower. Okay, y'all held it. So Corky got some good time middle with that. Rotation would have been nice, but at least he's getting some damage on the tower. This is really scary. They could all be there. Okay, never mind. Zoe's back in middle. Yeah, the Twitch is there. Alright, walk up. Healing. There you go, nice. Yeah, I would have stayed in that fight a little bit longer. I don't think y'all should do this. Well, if you get this, it's so dangerous to hit that plant, though. Y'all need to probably leave. Yeah, he's gonna die. Yeah, just abort. Just get out of there. It's just too dangerous with Zoe's poke. Now, if Warwick hit the plant, or if you hit that plant before Galio showed up, if you healed up off that plant, then you could have healed up the Warwick. So it was a little iffy to do that, but at the same time, if you'd healed, then you could have maybe made it happen. And I would have stayed in this fight a little bit longer. Once you see Twitch and he starts hitting Warwick, I think it's okay to go up and like just auto attack the Twitch and Q him. If he turns around, just run away from him. He doesn't have his invisibility anymore. Is going up there and just trying to see, you know, what you can contribute. Okay, CS is fine. Alright, working Redemption. It's good. You definitely want Ninja Tabi. If you're against an AD assassin, you have to get Ninja Tabi, probably. He does have 2 kills. Okay, so I'm just writing down... be more aggro early. That really is the biggest thing that I'll tell you. I'm not sure which elo this in, but that's the biggest thing that I notice when I play like normal games against, and then when I go in and play games against like Platinum or Diamond people. And Platinum and Diamond people even don't do this enough, but if you start watching like pro games or challenger level games, they do this all the time. There's no such thing as free CS. You need to be up there. Like Afro Move famously called that, I think, having presence years ago. I forgot what he may not have called it presence. It was something like that. That it was like a meme of him like doing that in the game. I think he was playing it. You can wait on that exhaust while she's hourglass. How close are you to 6? That's a little iffy, but Warwick, y'all need to probably heal Kaisa. Did you just level up, or did you have that before? No. Let him go. You're dead. Heal him if you can. I don't know if you have mana for it. Okay, made it. Oh, y'all got tower and a dragon off of it, so overall it's pretty good. But yeah, the biggest thing is just make them pay something every time they get a resource. Like, that's the biggest thing. Never, ever give them free resources. You know, if they're CSing, you're hitting them in the face. If it's safe, obviously, if it's safe. Like, if they have a Leona with an Ignite or something there, and that Leona's standing, like, right on the minion wave, and if you step up, she's definitely going to kill you. Okay, you might need to chill a little bit. But in this matchup, like, Galio's not that scary early on. You should be able to dodge his E, or at least throw a Q. You don't even have to hit the Qs. But the thing is, a lot of times, I feel like in lane, you're kind of sitting pretty much at full mana. Another option, if you're really scared of like them fully engaging you, is you can push them into the tower. So like, you can at least do that with your Q. Like, use your Q on the backline minions just to do damage to it, and that way Kaisa can push them into tower. And if they're pushed in a tower, they're going to miss CS while they're trying to last hit. That's a little scary because the jungler can come in and gank you potentially. But that takes pressure off of you because they can't engage on you early on if you have more CS than they do. So if you have like 6 CS and they have 3 and they come and fight you, they're probably going to die. Is he transformed yet? I didn't see. I don't think so. He's probably going to go blue Gale. Okay, he's not transformed yet. But that's another option. But you need to be doing something other than just like, you know, standing around behind. Like I said, I know it's kind of scary, and yeah, you do have late... Well, you don't really have late game. Like, you have late game over Galio support, but like, Twitch is really scary. You don't want to take Twitch to late. And now you see he's getting a free roam up here because you're not pushing enough. You need to get up here and push the wave.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
2 people are dead. Yeah, use your Q on this minion wave right here. Q it, Q it, Q it, Q it. You gotta help her push. You gotta help her push more. I just don't even worry about rotating. Just get this tower. Just, like, if you help her push and you just take this tower, don't even worry about what's going on mid lane. It doesn't matter. It's all... 2 people are dead. They're just gonna run away. Like, you guys aren't gonna get this tier 2. You could try to Fiesta and chase them in the woods, but they just spawned. So there's a good chance they're coming right here, right now. Okay, Twitch showed up, and he's probably going to kill her. Galio's going to support him. Yeah. Use a Q on him. Use a Q on him. Don't forget you have Qs. Like, it adds up. Even a level 1 Q, it still slows him down and heals you. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that was okay, but I'm pretty sure that y'all could have had this tower. I'm almost positive if you just queued, like, immediately once you see Twitch middle. if you just queued the wave and immediately pushed up as fast as you could and just helped her auto-attack this tower, I'm pretty sure you could have had it. Or, like, maybe got 90% of it before Twitch showed up. So, yeah, definitely use that Q to push. So, no free CS.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Use Q to push. And that's good, you know, if you see that your AD carry or the support has roamed, or if you see that they backed and you just want to, if you just need to put it in the tower as fast as you can, that's really good. Like I said, another option is if you're afraid they're going to fight you and you think you can push them under tower, just push them under tower so that they can't freeze it in the middle early on. So I'm just writing down also, don't rotate to dead plays. Like, mid play was basically done. 2 people were dead, so they're all going to run away, most likely. And there's just no way y'all were taking the tier 2 or doing anything productive here. So it was a waste to rotate up. You were too late on the rotation. And if you wanted to rotate at all, I'm not even sure if it would have been correct to rotate. But, like, if people were already dead, then it's not usually worth it to rotate because the play's probably dead. You know, once 1 or 2 people die, everyone else is just going to run away. And Soraka, frankly, is not that great on rotations anyways. Like, that's not really her strength. She wants to be kind of stationary in team fights because she can get picked off in transition by Twitch or Kane or anybody, really. Okay, good. Okay, Redemption's good. I want to use that control ward. Like, either sweep or control ward this or control ward this. Okay, they have a ward right there. No, you guys have it. Okay. Now, you saw they warded this, right? Was that your ward? No, that was somebody else's. Silence him. Okay, good, good, good. Probably gonna go ahead and Q over that wall. Okay, you got him. Warwick is massive because Warwick's really overpowered in solo queue. So play around Warwick. That needs to be what you're thinking right now. Is like, okay, I'm gonna play around Warwick. Like Kai'Sa's 0-3, whatever. So Twitch only has Blather and King, which is a really weak single item power spike. So yeah, definitely play around Warwick and Porky. So you need to itemize for those 2 champs. So Redemption's really good. So that means I wouldn't get Ardent Sensor next. I'm not sure. Looks like you're probably going into Tabi next, which is good. Yeah, Mikhail's would be great. Yeah, probably Mikhail's, because then you can cleanse the Zoe bubble, and if like Galio taunts Warwick or something, you can get him out of there. Remember, now you can cleanse the bubble before it actually sleeps them. They changed that a couple of patches ago, so you can just cleanse the slow portion, and they won't still fall asleep. So yeah, especially because presumably you have Ingenious Hunter, that makes Mikhail's really appealing here also. If this was patch 8.6, you might actually consider Shirelia's to help Warwick get on people. Okay, good. Try to land your Qs before you heal people if you can. I didn't mention that in lane, but that's something I've talked about in other Soraka videos where because that increases your heal by a lot. It gives a heal over time. Okay. Okay, good. Yep. Itemization's perfect. You know, with the caveat, you could go Frostbane potentially, but Coin is still really good. They active. Okay, that was just Zoe. Wait, no. Who activated Ghost? Was it Darius? No, it wasn't Darius. It was just Zoe. Just activating a freak. If you hear Ghost, you need to start running. There's a flash there. I saw someone flash in the dark. Good redemption. Yeah, you must have. Okay, this is getting kind of clowny. You guys are getting them pretty low. Yeah, you could probably take this. Take this tower. You guys should have done Rift at some point with how far ahead you were. Maybe instead of clowning around up here, you guys could have done Rift. You were kind of making progress. Silent. Just run. Well, thank God he has Blazer and King instead of like Infinity Edge or Hurricane. Okay, y'all are just mowing him down. You probably have a lot of gold. Yeah, you need to go back up high. Okay, so setting up for Baron's probably next. Yep, Mikhail's. With control wards. Yep, looking good. Yeah, the build's perfect so far. What kind of dragon is this? Mountain. They're positioning around Baron, so that means you need to be over there. Okay, nice redemption. Why is he trolling, dude? Get out of there. Okay, Twitch is bottom. Yeah, sweep this stuff. Make sure you're sweeping a lot. I think your sweeper's available. Like, you should have swept all this while you had this warded. So yeah, good vision. Put a control ward on Baron. That creates so much pressure on the map when you do that, because then they don't know if you're doing it or not. So you want to control ward Baron, especially since you have really good vision here. You can tell if they're coming for you or not. Just drop a control ward on Baron, and then sweep sweep these 3 bushes and like this area, and then put a ward here. And then get your team to come over there and bait Baron. That's a little scary because, you know, Twitch being able to open up on you down this alley is rough. You guys don't want to fight this. Ping him back. You don't want to... Warwick's not here. I mean, you guys are really far ahead, but you really, really don't... Like, if Twitch wins a fight... Like, if something bad happens and Twitch gets like 3 or 4 kills, that's really bad. Okay. Well, y'all powered through it. Twitch wasted his ult earlier. Like, if he still had his ult available and was able to ult, like, right here into those 3 people, that could have been pretty brutal. Go get Baron. I mean, y'all might get this tower, but like 1 tower is not as good as Baron. I would have just gone Inhibitor Baron here. You got to get them out of here. People are just like trolling. They're just sitting around. Enemy's gonna spawn. No, this is bad. Like, they're trying to just sit here and like pick people off or something. They're getting way too cocky. Like, yeah, y'all are ahead, but you're not doing anything, you know? Like, you're killing them a couple of times, sure, but all that you've done in the last 5 minutes, I think, is just like 1 extra tower ever since you got the inhibitor. I'm gonna be really sad if this game gets thrown, but it's looking rocky. It's looking rocky. You need to push up these side lanes. You need to push this lane. You go over there and push it yourself right now. This could die if you don't go push it. That's a lot of missing golden experience. I think you could have had like an extra 200 or 300 gold if you just pushed this out of Soraka. And you can do that at Soraka. Yeah, this Mundo is definitely like throwing hard. And I mean, he's only died once, but he's wasting so much of his lead. Okay, let me I'm gonna say direct your team with pings more. Get objectives. So, as I've said in a lot of other videos, this is one of the most dangerous times of the game. It's when you're pretty far ahead and all of the the towers are down and your team's just sort of wandering around. So you have to make your own objectives. You need to put a control ward in here. I'm pretty sure that's not warded, but yeah, it's a good ward placement. Is somebody caught dead? Yeah, he's caught dead again. Y'all gotta back up. It's 4v5. Do not fight this. Do not fight. It's 3v5. Mundo's not even here. Y'all need to walk out of here right now. Just give them the vision. Y'all can't fight. They don't have very good engage, thank goodness, but like if Darius like you know, flash grabs somebody, or like Zoe lands a bubble, Galio flash taunt somebody. Y'all need to wait. You don't have Kaisa, it's 4v5. If somebody's dead, you just gotta think about it like, we're in timeout, we just have to wait. Yeah, this is definitely getting clowny. This is pretty dangerous. Hey, thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. Oh crap, I think I forgot to start the upload on the Passion's video. Whatever. Okay, yeah, he's going for you, so back up. Okay. Yeah, y'all are tearing up the Twitch. Okay. Alright, good. Darius wasn't there, so y'all were able to force a 4v5. Don't chase, just go back and get Baron. If Mundo wants to die, just let him die. Just come over here and get this Baron. You need to put a control ward in this pit. You have one? Yeah, next item, probably lock it. Okay. Probably Aegis here. Okay, yeah, I don't mind finishing Oasis. Give you a little more ward coverage. Yeah, push top. Wait, how did someone get caught? Is it Mundo again? Yeah, they all just set in the 4 feet. Okay, we might be able to win here. They threw it so hard. Just get in a side lane. You guys get this, and then go. I guess just go bottom after this. Well, there's 3 dead. Yeah, just get towers. Silence them. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, I like that redemption. Yeah, your itemization was good. You know, your positioning in team fights pretty solid. Especially in those later game team fights, you didn't get caught, didn't get killed. That was good. So yeah, some of this other stuff should be relatively straightforward. Okay, so the biggest things. All right, number one. Yeah, just keep that mantra in your head. No free CS. No free CS. Just constantly. Anytime their AD carry, once again, is attacking a CS, you attack them back. At a minimum with an auto attack, and preferably with a Q plus an auto attack. If it's a super dangerous lane, once again, that's something to be aware of. But I'm not sure which elo this is, but like I said, in most elos, a lot of other supports will not actively defend their AD carry who is CSing. They're just going to stand behind their AD carry, or maybe off to the side. They're not going to be there ready to counter you whenever you go up for that. So yeah, obviously watch out for things like Leona with Ignite, but a lot of times, you know, you're going to be able to walk up there and bully them out. I mean, I've done that so many times playing with my friends, and like silver, bronze, low gold, you just walk up and just, even with Soraka, just queue them and just start autoing them, and they won't even know what's happening, and then they'll be like at half health, and then you just back up. So yeah, just get in their face, damage them, and just every single time they go for a CS, try to make them pay with something. Autos, abilities, anything. Especially because you're Soraka, you have a self-heal with your Q. You know, taking a little bit of minion hits is not going to be as big of a deal, especially if you're in the resolve tree. You're going to have second wind. Probably. So, yeah, make sure you do that. That is the biggest thing. I'll guarantee you, if you do that, you will gain a lot of elo really quickly. That's the biggest thing that I see in a lot of coaching videos, and that's something that I've worked on a lot myself, even this season. Even as a, you know, a former diamond player, right? Back in season 6, I found myself, I'm still not being aggressive enough in lane. So yeah, it's something that I think everybody can strive for most of the time. It's just not to the point of idiocy, you know, where you're going to get caught and killed by the Leona or the Blitzcrank or the Alistar, but just whenever you can, just trying to pressure, trying to get them to be a little bit scared, trying to get in that little bit of extra damage. Because it doesn't sound like much, oh, just one auto attack, who cares? But if you do that, you know, even 3 times a wave, that's 120 damage per wave. If your auto does, like, something about 50 damage and then they have armor to block 25% of it, you know, it's like, you know, 120 damage per wave. 40 times 3. So even if you only auto attack them on every other CS, it adds up really quickly. It's 240 damage per minute that you're stacking on them. So yeah, that's a really big deal. So use your Q to help push waves. Another big thing, like if you're kind of scared they're going to engage on you, if you're not as afraid of the jungler, you can push them into the tower and make them miss CS with your Q. But at a bare minimum, you know, if the AD carry dies or if Twitch rotated mid like you saw there, just use your Q, push them into the tower, and then just start auto-attacking that tower. So just help your AD carry push, right? Auto-attack the minions, Q the minions, you know, try to get them down to like a third health and just let your AD carry finish them off. Don't hit them so much that it's going to make your AD carry miss. But sometimes just dropping a Q on that back line and just auto-attacking each one of them twice just to prep that AD, just to prep that CS for the AD carry can be really helpful. Okay, another thing, don't rotate the dead plays, push objectives. So that one where you rotated mid, if you watch your pathing there, you know, 2 people were already dead. Tier 1 was already down middle, and there's no way you're going to get Tier 2 before the people spawned. So, like, all you ended up doing is walking up river, looping around near the Raptors. You watched Mundo chase a couple of people, and then eventually you ran back to bottom, you know, like maybe 45 seconds later while Twitch was getting chased and killed, or while Kaisa was getting chased and killed. Whereas if you had just stayed down there, you could have easily had that Tier 1 tower. So don't be afraid to stay in your lane if the enemy rotates, right? Like sometimes you're just too late to the rotation. Especially with Twitch, you don't know where he is. He can be invisible. He can go anywhere. So a lot of times he's going to beat you on rotations, and that's fine. Just push the tower and just make him trade. Even if he gets a kill middle lane, you can get a tower. So, you know, if you're something like an Alistar or a Blitzcrank or something like that, maybe you can try to rotate more to like shattered plays just to pick up a couple of stragglers. But it's something like a Soraka, most of the time you're not going to do that much, right? You're just going to be sitting there watching. Soraka is really best in even, you know, 5-on-5 fights, helping people in team fights and on sieges. So she's not the most brutal rotating champion ever, right? Not the most brutal ganker. So, and, you know, you can help people from afar with your redemption and with your ult. Like, you don't have to run physically over to mid lane to do that. You can just drop a redemption there. Then you can help push. Okay. Yeah, you need to direct your team more with ping. So ping Baron. Like, I saw you setting up Baron, but let them know. Say, hey, let's go do Baron. Like, ping assist on it. Like, hey, go do Baron. Push up mid lane. Push up top lane, go do Baron, or bait it or something. Like, you can't just let them run around Clown Fiesta style, because that's what people will do. They're going to default to that. A lot of people are on autopilot. They are just running around. They're listening to music. They might be, like, texting their friend or talking to their roommate or whatever, and they're just sitting there chilling. They're just running around, you know, randomly getting CS, like, not really thinking strategically at all. They just see somebody. They're like, oh, I'm bigger than him. Let me go kill him. And then they'll just go like that Mundo. His perfect example. Just goes chasing around people because he knows he can fight them. He's just kind of having fun, trolling them. Just like, haha, you can't kill me. I'm running around in circles. That kind of stuff. And they basically got a free 10 minutes in that game. You could have probably closed that out 10 minutes faster. Maybe not that fast, but, like, maybe. And a lot can happen in 10 minutes, right? So, like, what happens if someone on your team DCs? What happens if Mundo gets caught and killed a couple of times and Warwick rages at him and says, you idiot, why are you doing that? You know, why are you getting caught and killed? And then Mundo's like, I don't care. I want y'all to lose. You don't deserve this win. I mean, how often have we heard crap like that in solo queue, right? So you need to close out games quickly. Like, you do not want to lose momentum, right? Someone could DC. Your team could start raging at each other. They could just straight up start getting more gold and more power. So that Twitch, you know, if he gets a few more kills, gets another item or two, it's going to be potentially really hard to win. So you need to be a shot caller. You need to keep them on objective. Say, hey, let's go bait Baron. Hey, let's go work on this tower. Let's split push. Mundo, go bot lane. Everybody else, let's go top. Let's split push them. You know, like, do something productive. You do not want just 10 minutes of Clown Fiesta running around, especially if you're ahead. If you're behind, that could be a good thing. You know, if you get the team to, like, not... If the enemy team splits up and they never group up as 5, like, you might be able to pick off and catch some people in rotations. But especially if you're ahead, you need to close out the game as fast as you can. So direct the team with pings, and then similar to that, just get objectives. Like, you guys should have had that tower, that Baron a long time ago. You could have potentially had another tower or another inhibitor. Like, just make sure that you're focusing on objectives. Like, kills don't really matter. And I know as Soraka, you're not really worried about getting kills. You know, you had the perfect Soraka score, 0-0 and 23. Like, you're not going for kills. I know you personally are not going for kills. It's just you have to get the rest of your team to do other productive stuff, right? It's not... Because here's the thing about solo queue a lot of times, and this is what a lot of people get confused about, and this is what I was confused about for a while too, is like, if you know stuff and you're not saying stuff, that is a mistake, right? So a lot of times the stuff that keeps us from climbing is the stuff that we don't do. It's not the actual mistakes that we do, it's the stuff that we could be doing that we're not doing. That's the biggest thing, is not seeing the stuff that we need to be doing and not doing it. So for example, you know, in this game, like, the aggro early, that's something that I see in a lot of play, and that's what I used to do a lot too, and probably I still could even work on, like I said. It's just not being aggro enough in lane. You're not technically making a mistake, like, you're not dying by not auto-attacking them or not queuing them. But you're not pressing your advantage as much as you could. So you're not pushing, so you're not exerting your will. You're not exerting your own solo power in solo queue, right? You're just kind of going with the flow. You're letting your team dictate what happens in the game. You're just kind of, you're not really standing out enough to climb fast. You're not pushing your will. You have to really, like, just exert your will on the game. Just say, I'm taking over this game. I'm going to pressure this lane. I'm going to pressure this champion. There's no free CS in my lane. No free lunch. I'm going to rotate. We're going to make these plays. I'm going to shot call. We're going to get Baron. We're going to get this tower. We're going to get all this stuff. Like, you have to be assertive. And it's not just in lane, it's like with the shot call. Like, if you know you should be doing Baron, but you never say anything, you're like, well, I guess we'll just let Mundo run around and act like a fool for 10 minutes. Or, well, you know, this and that. And maybe you were typing to him, I don't know. I mean, sometimes some people just won't listen, right? But you have to try, right? You have to try to get people to do stuff, because if you know what you should be doing, what your team should be doing, and you don't say anything, then you're part of the fiesta, right? You're complicit. You're, you know, affiliated with the fiesta. So you have to try to end the fiesta. So yeah, I mean, just keep that in mind. A lot of times climbing, the stuff that holds us back the most is the stuff we don't do. It's not the mistakes that we actually make that is a thing. Because technically, there were no like actual things that you did wrong in terms of like, because you didn't die a single time, right? So there wasn't like a time where you were really out of position in an obvious way because you didn't die. But there were things that you could have been doing that you didn't, like pressuring early, not rotating, getting that tower instead, shot calling Baron, stuff like that. And so try to focus on that. So you have a really solid game, but I know, you know, I think it could leave you feeling frustrated, whatever elo you're in, if you're just constantly playing games and you're like, you know, I keep having this really good KDA, you know, I keep going 0-0 and 23, I never die, I have the perfect item build, like, I know what I should be doing, why am I not, you know, why am I not challenger yet, right? And that's probably why, is it's this unseen stuff that you could optimize, and that's some of the hardest stuff to work on. And hopefully this helps you out. So that's one of the big things that coaching sessions can help you out on, is getting another perspective and trying to see these things that maybe you would not have been able to see kind of on your own, right? But anyways, hopefully that helps you out, Jacob. So yeah, really solid game. Very good micro, you know, on your part. For the most part, you never got killed. You had really good positioning. 0-0 and 23, fantastic score. Perfect itemization. Really solid runing. It's just working on shot calling a little bit and just being a bit more aggressive, and then thinking a little bit more about rotations and not getting caught up in the fiesta. So that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Hope you appreciate it. Hope this helps you out. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see everybody next time. Have a good day.